Here's what to absolutely not do during a remote job interview. Yes, this is going to be a small rant over coffee. I feel better already. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Morning Coffee Chat with Luis. I am your host, Luis, and this is a short show that I do for Think Remote. And let me tell you about some scary remote work interview experiences and what not to do when interviewing for a remote position, right? If you saw yesterday's video, you know that I'm hiring. I was actually just going to have an interview with someone after yesterday's video. I felt that today I would go and talk about other happy subjects like remote work, burnout, and etc. because there's been some news and I like to talk about the news over morning coffee. But no. I needed to change plans because I think that I need to reemphasize and add something to what I said yesterday. So let's get comfortable. Let's grab some coffee and let's talk about what kills remote work interviews. So, yeah. So I'm actually in a pretty unusual position because I usually hire to our partners at Distant Job. They're great recruitment agency and they usually act as a buffer. I'm not hiring with them for this position specifically, or actually I'm trying to get something specifically for the position that I'm looking for because they're super busy. The move to remote, the global move to remote has had the requirements for their services go up a lot, and I see them, they're super busy. I don't want to add any stress, so I was looking on my own together with my partner at Think Remote, with my partners at Think Remote. So I miss that buffer. I mean, you, the guys at Distant Job, I miss you. And recruitment team at Distant Job, wow. So I'm getting people who literally have not read the job interview, the job description. Look, that's insane. I got someone today who didn't even know what kind of position she was applying for. Right, that's absolutely that's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, she was obviously she was she was in the right area, but she approached me and she wanted to offer her services as a freelancer in response to a job description that's for a full-time job. So that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. But I want you to take a lesson from this, right? The lesson from this is actually read closely the job description. That's number one. Number two, do some in-depth research and you will look wonderful compared to these people. Let me tell you something. If I have dozens of hours of audio online talking about my business, the company I work at, how I conduct business, how I manage my team, how I interview for remote job positions. I published a video on that just yesterday, but there's already dozens of hours and pages of content written with my name on it, right? And with the name of the companies that I work for, that I've worked for in the past as well. That's all available online. You can literally Google it in 5 seconds and then go over a decent chunk of content in 15 minutes and you will have your work cut out for you. You will be able to cheat on the job interview with me. And yet people don't even read the job description. That's insane to me, but that's also an opportunity for people looking to get a remote job, right? Do your research. Most people come so utterly unprepared that if you do a little bit of research, you are going to impress, right? You are absolutely going to impress. On the last week, the most research I've seen is that someone visited the main page of the website of my business. Wow, right? Incredible. So that means that the market is there to actually be able to impress with very little effort. The second thing is, and this is just reinforcing the point from the previous video, I need to be able to understand what you're saying. It doesn't work if you're using a terrible headset and the internet is constantly breaking. And look, uh, would you go to a normal job interview with a torn jacket, right? Sweaty just off your gym. Wouldn't you take a bath? Wouldn't you take a bath? Wouldn't you put a nice shirt on? I mean, not all work. I mean, I like jackets. Obviously, I like jackets, but I don't require people who work with me to wear jackets. But at least come dressed, right? So that the but so if you do that, if you would invest in having a decent change of clothes for interviewing, etc., why would you not invest in having a good internet? Right? I know times are rough. Maybe not everyone can afford great high speed internet, but being able to hold a conversation is crucial. If your internet is constantly breaking, if I can barely understand what you're saying over your headset, right? It If you want a job, you need to make some investment in getting the right conditions, creating the right conditions to get the job. If you really don't have the ability, right, if you really don't have the ability to gather those resources on your own, find someone who has a friend, a family member. Maybe there's a place you can go to. I know that some countries have laxer lockdowns than others, so in some countries you can already go to a place where you have internet. And if you don't have access to any of that, at least be honest upfront about it. Say in the email, right? Due to lockdown, I haven't been able to secure the ideal internet connection, right? But it's in my plans to do so. And if I get the job, I will certainly do so. I understand that it's very important to have a great internet connection for a job like this. So I'm just giving you a heads up that that's not the situation that I am right now, but I'm working to improve. Just saying this will go a long way because it shows that at least you understand how important it is, and will be more patient. Will be more patient in the interview, and will understand, and etc. All of that, right? At the end of the day, it sounds like a cliche, but honestly, honesty is the best policy. So I guess that's that. I mean, it sounds like common sense, but apparently it isn't. Number one, read the job description, know what you're applying for, and know what is expected of you. Number two, uh, research a bit about the company and the interviewer. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be able to recite the foundation of the company, but get some idea of how they work, why you would be a fit, right? What they expect. Even learn. Sometimes it's almost like cheating, right? If you see a video with Lewis telling you what he expects from you in a job interview, then you know what to do, right? It's like cheating. It's like going and playing a video game with a guide by your side, right? How cool is that? And then, finally, but probably most importantly, great internet connection. That's If you want to work on the internet, right, you need a great internet connection. It's a requirement for a job. It's an absolute requirement, right? You wouldn't go. I don't know. You wouldn't try to do a career as a professional weightlifter if you don't have upper body strength, right? You wouldn't. You just wouldn't try. You need to meet the requirements for the job that you want to have, and for remote work, internet is essential. So that's it. Uh, it may not be noticeable, but the coffee has calmed me down quite a bit. I know it's strange, but it does suit my nerves. But wow, this has not been a great interviewing experience, and I hope that this video contributes a bit. It's one more in many, but I hope it contributes a bit to changing that. Right, a remote job can change your life. Be prepared, have some preparation, and you'll see that most people interviewing for remote jobs actually have a great culture, right? If the fact that the company is remote first, or mainly remote, or even fully remote, could mean that they have a good culture, so they will actually really listen to you and respect you and be interested in you during job interviews. Extend the same courtesy, right? Make sure that you don't waste people's time. Show your best self in the job interview. Sounds obvious, but apparently it isn't. Well, if you like this, if you thought that this was useful, please Remember, this is the virtual coffee chat with Lewis for Think Remote. You can visit thinkremote.com. You can sign up to our newsletter for updates, and also you can win some prizes during our launch month. And also, of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you tomorrow.